Taking the conditional formatting in a slightly diverse angle, we can actually use conditional formatting to place data bars or color scales behind a range of values. So instead of picking on a cell and saying, let's change it based on its value against a set of criteria, we can change the background based on its relevant value compared to other values in a range. This will make more sense when you see it in action. Taking the sales data file 2013 and February this time, if, for example, we wanted to compare the north values against each other graphically, we've seen how we can add a spark line or actually even do a full chart if we want, or we can conditionally format these cells relative to each other using the conditional formatting option and coming down to data bars or color scales or icon sets. Each of these effectively does a relative comparison. So if, for example, we were to choose gradient fill and the green bars, you can see here in the preview as we move that 757 is much more solid green than 245, and the 5 has a very faint little bit of green on the left-hand side of it. And you can do the same with the blue gradient, or even use the solid colours. The colour scales do a very similar thing. You can see that you get different solid colours across the range. It's not so obvious there graphically which is the better value, but that has a green, yellow, red colour scale, a green, white, red colour scale, a red, white, green colour scale, and then there's even yellow to green, green to yellow. I'm not a fan of the colour scales because it's not graphically obvious what the difference is between the colours. Whereas the data bars, that's immediately obvious. The more colour, the higher the number, the less colour, the lower the number. And again, the icon sets work in a very similar manner. You choose an icon set and you can see you get a different icon for the value. And this one is a set of traffic lights, or different shapes, or the arrows. You can see the green up arrow is obviously higher than the red down arrow, and then the yellow arrow to the side. Or there's grayscale versions, or there's circles with different colours, or there are indicators, rating flags, different shapes on the side there, or even the star rating option here. So you get a full star there for 757, but 5 is pretty empty, and 245 is actually quite empty as well. You've got radial moon options or little bar options. So some of the icon sets work better than others, depending on your data usually. And then the data bars with gradient or solid fill certainly makes a lot more sense. So let's go for a gradient fill of pink on the north. What we can then do with the south is highlight the south data, come to conditional formatting, and let's choose a different set of data bars. Let's go with blue. And then the east, conditional formatting, data bars, let's go yellow, and the west, conditional formatting, data bars, green. Now, as these values change, the data bars will change as well. So if the bike sold for the west dropped down to 200, but the planes sold went up to 180, then the relative scale between the bars for, in this case, the west, would change, because it's all about relativity with the bars behind. These work on a range of cells and effectively give a different icon or bar or gradient fill dependent on the value within the range of cells that you've chosen. Whereas the original, let's make this change colour if it's over 55, effectively works on that single value compared to a criteria.